Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel AI, or as we like to call it, IAI. I'm Christian, a professor of economics at the University of Massachusetts Amherst.
Hey, my name is Oscar Lopez. I am also a faculty member here at UMass Amherst in the business school.
Like many of you, I've been watching how quickly AI has entered our classrooms. And the truth is, most universities don't have a single policy. Instead, they tell instructors, you decide. That sounds empowering, but in practice, it's actually a little bit messy. Some instructors ban it completely, others quietly use it, and many just avoid the issue altogether. In the meantime, students are left confused about what's actually allowed. And we think we need a system that makes things clearer, fairer, and more transparent for both sides.
So Christian and I agree that one of the most valuable things we could do is provide practical advice for instructors, not just the abstract debates about AI, but concrete answers to the question, what do we do now? That's part of the spirit of this channel in general. So we realize that any useful policy has to go beyond setting boundaries. It has to build trust. That's why we're proposing what we call the TrustLight System. You might be familiar with the old traffic light model. Red means no, green means okay or go, and yellow means be careful. We kept that simple framework, but shifted the focus to apply it to the classroom. The TrustLight System isn't about restriction, it's about trust. Students should be able to trust that their professors are transparent about how they use AI, and professors should be able to trust students to disclose when they use it. At its core, the TrustLight System makes AI use a shared conversation, not just a one-side rulebook.
So we've come up with 3 principles for this policy. The first one is transparency. Too often, AI policies treat the issue only as students are misusing AI. But here's the thing, students also deserve to know when we as instructors also use it. If I use AI to summarize an article to prep for my class, my students should know about it. At least that's the way I feel. If I write a recommendation letter, they deserve to know that I wrote it myself. For me, some of the tasks are relational and personal, and I don't want to outsource them to a machine. That's why in my syllabus, I try to explicitly state, I will never use AI to grade, for example, or to give feedback, or to write a recommendation letter. Those are just part of my role as a mentor, and those mean a lot to me. This is not an efficiency exercise. For these particular roles, I want to keep that personal. When students see that commitment, it builds trust. At least that's my experience. And in return, I ask them to be transparent about their use of AI in their work.
The second principle we want to talk about is recognizing that AI is here to stay. Students are already using it, whether or not we say that they can or not. And no matter how many restrictions we write, we can't police effectively. Detection tools don't work reliably, and chasing violators only damages the relationship in the learning environment. So instead of wasting energy trying to stop AI, we should focus on teaching students how to use it wisely. That means encouraging AI when it helps learning, like brainstorming ideas, organizing, generating alternative code. And it means also drawing clear boundaries where it gets in the way of learning, like critical thinking, original analysis, or technical mastery. The question isn't, do students use AI? They do. The real question is, how do we guide them to use it appropriately and intentionally?
The third principle is flexibility. AI isn't a yes or no issue. It operates at many levels, and the way we use it should match the purpose of each assignment. That's why what we call the TrustLight System uses 3 colors. Green means AI is allowed as long as students disclose what they used. Yellow means AI is permitted under guardrails, for example, using it to brainstorm an essay outline, but not to generate the final draft. Red means no AI at all, because the purpose of the assignment is to demonstrate personal mastery. This isn't about being restrictive or permissive for its own sake. It's about aligning AI use with the actual learning goals. Flexibility forces us as instructors to think carefully about each task, and it helps students understand why AI is appropriate in some cases, but not in others.
Before we show you what this looks like, I want to acknowledge where part of the idea came from. Mark Watkins, who is Assistant Director of Academic Innovation at the University of Mississippi, actually, has written about opening a syllabus with a personal AI statement. We've borrowed and adapted that idea. In practice, my syllabus begins like saying, For our AI policy, I won't be using AI to answer emails, provide feedback, grade your work, or write recommendation letters. Those things affect my relationship with you, and that relationship matters more than efficiency. Anytime I do use AI, I will be transparent about how it was used. In exchange, I ask you to respect the TrustLight system and disclose your AI use in your assignments. That sets the tone for the classroom. This isn't about just compliance. It's about honesty. It's about modeling the behavior we want students to adopt as well.
One other thing I would like to add here is that the traffic light system is not an invention of ours. This is a system that has been adopted and is being implemented in several countries and institutions around the world. So what we want to do here is borrow from that example or that principle and Mark Watkins' suggestion of how to frame the AI policy in the classroom and try to come up with something that could be useful for many people in practice. Classroom examples. How do we go about implementing this in an actual case? In my economics class, for example, I might label a problem set and say, this is red, meaning there is no AI usage here because you as students need to practice the fundamentals themselves. Again, as we said before, I'm not going to police the use or not use of AI, but I am going to convey to them the importance of not using it because there is a purpose for not using it, meaning they need to learn the skill. For example, an in-class discussions, some material that we're going to look at in class could be yellows, meaning students are free to prepare for that particular assignment beforehand, but in the actual live discussion that occurs in class, they have to bring their own ideas, and during the class discussion, that's going to be sort of a red light for them. A group project, on the other hand, might be green, because here I want them to engage with AI because I think that brainstorming, idea generation is actually something that I want them to be the best they can possibly be. And at least in my case, I recognize that AI can be very good at this. So I would put a green light in that type of exercise. So this variety helps students see that AI isn't necessarily good or bad, but it depends on the context. And importantly, they start to understand the why behind each of the choices.
So why does the TrustLight system work? Well, first, it fits very neatly within the flexibility most institutions already allow. You're free to decide your own policy. Second, it builds students' buy-in. When students see us holding ourselves accountable and being transparent, they are far more likely to respect that policy and follow it. In third place, it reframes AI as a tool, not a threat. Cheating will never disappear, unfortunately, but confusion can disappear and mistrust can disappear, and students can leave our classes not with just disciplinary knowledge, but with AI literacy that they'll need in the real world. That's what we see as our responsibility as educators.
So if you're an instructor looking for a way to handle AI, we think you should try the TrustLight system or some variation of it. It's transparent, we think it's flexible, and we also think it's realistic, it's implementable. It acknowledges the reality of AI in education while protecting the integrity of your assignments and relationships.
And remember, this is not about perfection, it's about trust. Trust between teachers and students, trust in the process, trust in the idea that we can adapt together.
Thanks for watching, and let's keep building trust in how we use AI.
We would love to hear your thoughts. Please share your ideas in the comments section. We know that there are challenges that matter to a lot of us, so we're really excited to create more content like this. If you're here from the early episodes, you will see that we're trying to adapt our quality of the videos and all that. And your contribution, your cooperation, your support actually means a whole lot to us and gets us going. It's the energy that fuels our channel. So we're excited to be here. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, like us and follow us, and let's keep the conversation going.
See you soon. Bye.